Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to go over 9 things I wish I knew before becoming a loan officer. And this is going to be part 2. I've already done a video just like this. If you want to check it out as well, I'll link it right there. But here are a couple more things I realized, hey, it would have been nice to know this before becoming a loan officer. So if you're new to the business or just want to find out more about what it's like being a loan officer, make sure you stay to the end of this video. Promise you, you're going to find it super helpful. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, number 1 is that we're currently in a very tough market. One of the toughest that this industry has ever seen. And I'm putting this here because it's really important. If you're watching this 5 years from now, then it's probably not going to apply, but I still wanted to include it in this video because these things happen in cycles. There's always going to be a great time and there's always going to be a bad time. You know, real estate life just happens to work in cycles. So if you're watching this and it's an easy market, be aware that there's always going to be a great and a bad market. And you want to make sure that you're setting up your business so that you're taking advantage of the great ones, but that you're also prepared and equipped to survive the tough ones because they can be tough. To give you an idea of how tough the market is right now or how tough it can be, right now mortgage applications for purchases are down 40%. For refinances, it's down 80%. And another thing going on is a bunch of banks are going out of business, especially the ones that built their businesses on refinances. So why am I going over all this information with you guys? Well, I'm going over it because if you're new to the business, if you're coming in right now at this very moment, you need to come in with your A game. And you also need to realize that because you're coming into a time where there's a storm, you're going to be more equipped, you're going to be more able when things get easier. Right? If you're practicing in a muddy field, if you're a football team and you're always practicing on a muddy field, as soon as you make it onto that grass field, you guys are going to dominate. So if you're coming in right now, I don't want you guys to feel discouraged because it's a storm right now. If you're coming in, give it all you've got, and I promise you, when things get easier, you're going to be the top loan officers in your area. So I want to make sure you guys know that. And if you're not coming into a market like this one right now, maybe you're watching this 8 years from now, know that these things do happen. Do not underestimate the business. Do not underestimate life. Right? So what I want you guys to do if you're watching this and it's good times, take advantage of those good times. Make sure you're building your business super big so that when tough markets like these do come, because they will come, that you're prepared. All right, number 2 is that you need to be a great loan officer from here on out. You know, maybe before, maybe in 08, maybe in 05, you could be a mediocre loan officer, a mediocre real estate agent. You can't do that right now. Right now, we're going up against 2 big monsters, the market and also technology, right? A couple of you guys have left comments, emailed me, hey, what do you think is going to happen with all this technology? Do you think technology is going to take over loan officers? Truth is, I don't know. I really don't care because I know that as long as I'm a great loan officer, A+ loan officer, I'm going to continue to get results in my market. So that's all you guys need to know. Hey, is technology going to take over? Is AI going to take over? Robots, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But what you can control is you being the best loan officer in your area. And if you're the best loan officer in your area, then you're going to get business. If you're not, I mean, chances are you're not going to be in business. So this is something that, you know, I've really taken a lot of time to look into is that, hey, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I do know that if I'm going to exist, if my business is going to exist as a loan officer, I need to be an A+ loan officer because technology is coming at us. And also, you know, it's also helping us, right? It's also helping us. I do want to admit that. So thank you, technology. And then there's this tough market, right? So there's a couple of things coming at us. So if you want to exist in your business, don't focus on, hey, what's coming at me? Just focus on this one thing, being a great loan officer. All right, number 3 is you need to know beyond mortgages, right? Kind of what we talked about in the prior one. You need to be a great loan officer, but you also need to go beyond being a loan officer. What does that mean? Well, you need to know the economy, how that works. You need to know how the Fed works, how finances work, employment, and how that affects rates. You need to know all these things, credit. So coming into the business, I thought all I had to know was a little bit of real estate and mortgages. But that's not the case, at least not for the market that we're going into the future. Because when people come to you and ask you a question like, hey, what do you think the market is going to look like in 5 years? To some degree, you have to be an economist. You can't just say, today's rates are blah percent. You can't say that. They're asking for what you think is going to happen in 2 years, in 1 year. Hey, if someone tells you, hey, why do rates go up? You need to be able to answer that. Oh, because of employment this. Why is the Fed increasing rates? You need to know about inflation. So that's one thing that I'm realizing these past couple months in this tough market is that we need to be beyond loan officers. We need to be financial experts, economic experts. We got to be economists, right? So that's one thing that I want to include here because I want you guys to be successful. I'm not saying you have to do this. This is just my experience. And if you guys want some tips on how to become a more knowledgeable loan officer, make sure you check out this video. I go over the things I do to become a more knowledgeable loan officer. And like I said, know beyond loans. All right, number 4, most real estate agents are not going to want to work with you. And I want to include that here because a lot of people, even myself, coming into the business, they see all these loan officers working with a bunch of real estate agents, getting a ton of leads, getting a ton of deals. And we think, hey, that's going to happen to me. I'm going to become a loan officer, and then real estate agents are going to start sending me all these leads. I'm going to become rich. I'm going to get a bunch of business. But when you come in, you're going to find that most real estate agents are not going to even want to talk to you. So I'm including this here, and I'm not discouraging you guys. I'm just being real with you guys. Most real estate agents are not going to want to talk with you. They're not even going to pick up your call, not even going to return your text. Why is that? Because they're so used to loan officers just asking for business, never delivering value, blowing up deals, that they think you're that same person. And that's why I'm always stressing in my videos, be a great loan officer. Deliver a ton of value to your agents and your clients. Make sure you check out these videos right here on how to work with real estate agents. But basically, you need to deliver tremendous value. And that's why I'm saying, hey, grow yourself as a loan officer, as an individual, as a business person. Have great systems for your clients. And make sure you check out all my videos so you have that information. But yeah, because most agents are not going to want to work with you. They're not going to pick up your call. The ones that are the ones that see your value. And the only way to see someone's value is if they have value, right? So this is a very vital point because I also stress in my videos that real estate agents are very, very important in establishing and creating a purchase business. You need real estate agents. And that's why I'm saying, hey, you need real estate agents and most of them don't want to work with you. So that means it's a big problem. It's an important problem that you need to solve. And you always need to work at. Grow your agents. Make sure you have strong relationships because they're vital to your business and they're not easy to get. Just want to let you guys know that I have partnered up with Learn Mortgage and CompuCram if you guys are interested in getting your loan officer license. So I have a video right here going over exactly how to get the license, and they also offer discount codes for you guys that are interested and part of the Enrique and Greatness family. So the links are right here. This is for Learn Mortgage, and then the second code for CompuCram, which is a test prep tool, is going to be right here. Make sure you check them out. All right, now back to the video. All right, number 5 is that not all deals are rainbows and butterflies. There's going to be tough deals, right? These are big transactions with a lot of people. It's not like those TV shows where they get a client, they put them in the process, they close, they get paid. For the most part, it's going to be like that, but you're going to have those deals that can get really, really tough because maybe someone missed something. And it's not always going to be you, right? Most of the time, it's not going to be you. There's a ton of parties, and people are bound to miss things or misplace things or whatever. Right? So you need to make sure you're on your A game. And that's why I'm always saying, hey, be on your A game. And also make sure that you know other areas of the business. Because let's say this person misses something, you got to be able to catch it. Even if it's not your responsibility, now it's become your responsibility, right? Because it's in the transaction. Everything in the transaction is your responsibility. So there's going to be times where people, other parties mess up, and you got to make sure that you're on your A game and quick. Because this person messes up, affects the loan, and the loan this. So you got to make sure you're on your A game. These deals can get tough. Right? Most of them are going to be perfect, beautiful, they're going to go all the way through, but there's going to be tough deals. So the point I'm trying to get at here is that you need to be able to work under pressure because these are big deals, and when big deals go south, that's a lot of pressure. So if you're someone that can't work under pressure, maybe you fold up, whatever, make sure that you know this. And just because you can't work under pressure doesn't mean you can't work on that skill, because it's a skill. Working under pressure is a skill. And the way to handle that skill is to be more knowledgeable. The more knowledgeable I am, the more pressure I can hold. It's like your muscles, right? The more you work out your muscles, the more you can lift. So if you can't work under pressure, just know that you need to really focus on becoming an educated, knowledgeable loan officer. But I want you guys to know that, hey, these deals are not easy. It's not rainbows and butterflies all the time. There are going to be super tough deals where emotions get mixed, people get upset and stuff like that. So you need to know that. All right, number 2 is that service and attitude are a big part of the business. And I'm including this here because if you want to turn this into a career, then you're going to need a great service and attitude. Because the people that experience great service and attitude from you, they're going to come back and they're going to recommend you. And that's how you build a sustainable business. If you don't have the service and you don't have the attitude, people are going to work with you once and never come back. Real estate agents are going to work with you once and never come back. And you're always going to have to be chasing that new deal, that new partner. But if you continue to deliver great service to clients and realtor partners, great attitude, they're going to come back to you and continue to refer you business. You know, maybe you close a transaction with someone and they had a great experience. You send them handwritten letters, all this good stuff. They're going to send their brother, their sister, their aunt, their niece, their nephew. They're going to send their whole family to you. So I want to make sure that you guys stress great service and great attitude in your business. Always be asking yourself, how can I deliver more service? Because the more service you deliver, the more referrals you're going to get from your clients and your real estate agent partners. For example, some things that I do is I'm big on birthdays. I know all of my clients' birthdays, not memorized, I have them in my database. And whenever it's their birthday, I always contact and I send them a handwritten letter. That's 2 touches for their birthday. Guarantee you, most real estate agents, most loan officers do not do that. All right, number 7 is that this is purely commission. Some of you guys are going to be working for banks that give you a salary, but I'm talking to the ones that are purely commission. The great thing about commissions, as everyone knows, is that the more work you put in, the more you get out, which is beautiful. If you're someone that's coming in and doesn't want to put in the work, isn't super disciplined, isn't able to work weekends, work extra time, then you're not going to make it in this business, because you got to put in a ton of hours in the beginning, especially in the beginning. In the beginning, you're going to put in a ton of hours and then you're going to be paid off later. And then on the other side is if you don't close, you don't get paid. And that's why a lot of people exit the business, because they don't have the discipline and the work and the knowledge in, and so they don't get results. They don't get results, they don't get paid. Am I going to put in extra hours? Am I going to be super disciplined? Am I going to continue to grow as a loan officer? Because if you don't do those things, you're not going to get the results that you need to survive in the business. You need results to survive. If you don't have results, you don't get a paycheck. You don't get a paycheck, you can't survive in the business. That's why most people get out, because they can't put those things in, and so they don't get results, and so they have to go out. So commission is great, it's beautiful, but you guys got to make sure you're always working on your discipline, your work, and your knowledge. Number 8 is that you constantly need to be growing and learning as a loan officer, because the guidelines change, the market changes, loans change, right? Loans have hundreds of pages of requirements, and you need to know those. Not all of them, but you need to know most of them, and they're changing, so you got to know the changes, right? Minimum credit scores are changing, this is changing, that's changing, markets are changing, so new programs. So you always need to be learning as a loan officer. So if you're someone that doesn't like learning, doesn't like educating themselves, it's going to be tough, because you need to know a lot in this business. You're going to get left behind by those people that are educating themselves on things beyond loans, educating themselves deeper on their position as a loan officer. So this is very important. It's something I wish I would have known coming into the business, is that every single day I would have to be learning new things as a loan officer. Every single day. This is an expansive industry, one of the most expansive, because you got to know real estate, finances, economy, politics, this and that. And you need to be learning about those things every single day, because they change every single day. So if you're someone that always educates themselves on a regular basis, this is for you. And if you're not, I mean, it's still for you, but you got to do those things if you're going to be successful in this business. So that's another thing about being a loan officer. All right, number 9 is that you're building a business. And I know this seems very obvious. Hey, I know I'm building a business, but what I want to say here is it's just like opening a candy shop. The person opening a candy shop knows that they're going into a business. They have to be super disciplined. They have to have systems. They need tools. They got to invest. They need prospecting. They need follow-up. They need marketing, all that stuff. So coming in, don't just think that it's a loan officer. It's not a loan officer. It's a business owner. You're creating your own business. Your loan officer business is a business, and you need to think about it, see it just like as someone sees their candy shop. So don't just think, hey, I'm going to come in, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go home, and it's going to be super easy. You got to build systems, products, prospecting methods, marketing, all these things. It's a business. Treat it like a business. Most people don't succeed because they don't treat it as a business. Imagine if the guy that opens a candy shop didn't go to work Monday through Friday. I mean, they wouldn't sell any candies, right? I mean, the store wouldn't even be open. And most people, when they come into the business, they think they could take time off, but that's not the case. They got to treat it as a business, right? Treat it as a business. And I promise you guys, you're going to be successful if you treat it as a business. Just like the person, creating a candy shop. It's no different. The guy opening up the candy shop does not blame anyone because his business fails. He's the CEO, he's a janitor, he's the employee, he's everything. And you guys are going to be everything, right? So don't go blaming the company, the manager, the programs, the rates. Don't do that. It's your business and you got to build it. And that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for more content just like this. I make videos on life improvement, entrepreneurship, and loan officer training. Thanks again for your time. See you in the next video and be great.